Today's lesson, we will be going over the midterm as well as touching just a little bit on lesson 5, working with color. So let's get into it. And I'm just going to go through the entire exam and show you how it was supposed to have been done. Now let's get into InDesign. First of all, let me share my screen real quick. And this is what the midterm exam consisted of. Page 1, page 2, page 3, and page 4. It's an informational newsletter from Wilmington College. And let's go ahead and let's open up the midterm itself. We'll go to File, we'll go to Open, and we're going to open up the file entitled Midterm. Of course, we're going to update our modified links, give us everything we need. Now, for the most part, everything was pretty much, most of the pictures were already at size, and I'm going to go page by page. Shouldn't take that long. And to let you know how everything should have been done. Okay, so first of all, let's open up our layers. And we're going to place the text on one layer. We're going to place the images on another layer and the background on another layer. So, and I've got all my images unchecked, so I'll be going back and forth. You see, anytime I click on a piece of text, it's going to take me directly to the text layer. Images, going to take me directly to the images layer, and that includes all of this. Let's start with page 1. Start with page 1. And remember, we're going to try to get it to look as close to this PDF as possible. First of all, I've got a box already on the page. And so the only thing you really have to do is, go to File, place the picture in there, or if you just want to start from scratch, you can delete this and make sure you're on your images layer, go to File, place, and we're going to go to our links. This is where all of our pictures are located in our links folder. Open up that folder, and we're going to click on the college female student image itself. And we're going to place it down there, and then we're going to make it fit just perfectly into the page. Now, on top of that, we're going to place the Remington College image on top of that. And so we're going to use the same process. We're going to go to File, Place, and we're going to open up the Remington College logo and place it down here. Now the image, the logo is oversized, so what we're going to do is we got to size it down. Let's scale it down. And in order for us to do that, we're going to click on the logo itself. Make sure we click that. We can just scale it. I like to hold my Shift key down to make sure it stays proportioned. And then get my lines here and make sure my crop lines, and make sure I make them fit to the side of the picture itself, the image itself. And move it up a little bit. And I like to go back and forth just to make sure that things are where they're supposed to be. Now, let's add the text. And the text on here is going to be Memphis campus and the Remington College .edu website address. So click on your type tool, and I like to just draw a little window. In Memphis campus, it's in all caps. in Remington College.edu is in lower caps. We select those and we're going to center those. First of all, I want to change my setting from essentials to advanced so I can have my toolbox up here. So once we get that, center my text, and the text that we're going to be using for the most part in all of our lessons is going to be Myriad Pro. We'll change the text Myriad Pro. Memphis is going to be a little bigger, like 14 points. And it's going to be bold. And you can have it bold or not bold. I think on the look like it's not bold on here, but either one is fine. So we're almost there, and we got to make sure that this text box goes on the text layer. So if I go to layer, it's acts on my images. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this out, select it, go to file, cut it, go to my text layer, go to edit, then paste in place. If you paste it in place, wherever you pulled it from, it's gonna put it exactly where you got it from at first. So, and the last thing we have to do on this particular page is to add a QR code. So the way we add that, we're going to go to Object, Generate QR Code, and the website is going to be remingtoncollege.edu. And we're going to put the HTTPS colon / Remington College.edu. The type is going to be a web hyperlink. Back over again now. Remington College.edu. Okay, we've got that. We click OK. Our code is generated. We're going to place it down below her hand, which I think is the case on the PDF. I go back to the PDF, and it's below her hand right there. What I want to do before I do that, and I want to make sure that this image, this QR code is on my images layer as well. So I'm going to, once again, cut this, go to my images, and paste this in place. I also want to make a white box behind that. So I can either create a box and make it around there, or I can go to my color palette and make the background white on this. It's probably easier if I did it this way. That way it's there. And let me see the correct placement. If the correct placement is more so towards the end here, I'll just place it right here. So we've got page 1 done. And before you do anything else, we want to save it. We want to make a great habit of saving it. We want to go to File, Save As, and we want to name it. Your name, first name or last name, or first initial, last name. 2024 midterm. Now, page 2. I think the instructions call for us to make this box red. This picture that's over here needs to go over here. This box move to the middle, move down to the bottom. And we're going to also be using character styles on our text in here. So if you go to character styles, you'll see that you have sidebar header text, sidebar body text, header text, which is going to be these headers right here, and the body text, which is going to be this here. So before we do anything else, This box is page 2 and this is page 3. This box needs to be the same size as this box. So we'll click on this box. It's going to be 2.2 3/4 inches wide by 11. And this one here is 3.9 inches. So we want to make sure that this box is 2.75 inches as well. Enter. And now we'll just move it flush to the right side here. And that way we have even boxes on both pages. Page 2 and page 3, they're practically the same. They're just elements that are just flipped. So we're going to move and do everything based according to that. Let's go ahead. Let's move this picture flush to the bottom here. That it called for on page 2. And then the student is going to be on this side and the box is going to be red. And the same thing for this page right here. And we're going to also take these icons. They're angled right now. We're going to make sure that all the icons are 0 degrees instead of they look like they're either 30 or 35 right now. So we're going to make sure they're angled correctly. So let's make this box right here red. Select the box itself, double click on it, and find a nice red in here. Yeah, the instructions call for, I don't know if I put a particular color in there, particular color of red, but any color red is fine. So we're gonna hit OK on that one, and we're gonna go back to the same fill box and make this one red as well. And now we've got our red boxes. This text is going to be in the middle here, while this picture of the student is over here. It's going to go up here on this side, and this young man is going to go on this side over here. There are a couple other pictures we're going to add, but we're going to work on this text first. So these are the header text right here. Let's select this. Make sure we double click on the character styles. As we see, when we select the text, when we click on header text, it's making sure that everything is what it is. So this text is going to be the body text. I'll make sure that's the body text. That's the body text. And you can go in and create these styles yourself, but I think I had already pre-formatted the document to where the styles were already set up. And so anytime that happens, it's a little bit easier for you. And body text on this one. So everything should fall in place just right. And let's go to the next page and do the same thing for this page. Get our headers. And the reason for these character styles is to make their life a little bit easier when it comes to formatting large groups of text. You don't want to go in and choose myriad, choose 12 points bold and all that. We can just go over here and set a style. And the character style will reflect that in our character styles palette. Let's go ahead and do our body text as well. And this looks like it might already be body text for that one. Body text for that one. And you can tell what character style it is because it will highlight in the character style palette. And this one here, body text from that one. Now, if you change to a different style, it won't come out like that. You don't want that. You want to do the body text. So So we've got that down pat. Now, let us let's look at the sample again. Student up here, we got the inserting this image of the HVAC vent in there, and then format this text as well. So let's do that for page 2 and page 3. Once we're finished inserting our images, we're going to, the very last thing we're going to do for both pages is make sure these icons are aligned straight and angled straight, and everything is smooth and falls in a certain line here. So let's go ahead and insert this side over here. We're going to pull him down a little bit more. And we're going to move this text down a little bit. And like I said, the images, if you look at the layers, they should already be on the images. The text boxes, they should already be on the text layer. I'm going to collapse that. And this nonprofit, non-traditional, I'm not sure if I created a style for this, but it's sidebar, header text. Should be, but I don't think it should be this big actually. Should be around 14. And then this text is the sidebar body text. You want to make sure that, you know, and that may not be right as well. I think it's supposed to be 12 and that's supposed to be 11. I think this text refers to back page. So we're going to take this down to 12. And I could create a character style for that, but it's going to only be these two boxes that we're really concerned about. So there's probably not a need to create a character style for these. We can just go up here and do this real quickly like this. Make it mirror, bold, italic on this one. And for this one, make sure it is 12 points. Well, let's make sure this text flows well together. Okay. And we've got one more picture to install. On this side, we're going to File, Place, and this should be the culinary pick. Let me click it outside. It's going to get something selected. If you notice, if you have something selected and you try to place a picture, it's going to place it either in the text box or whatever box you have open. And what I like to do and have a good practice doing is all my elements, I like to make sure that they're lined up. So I'll select all my elements, go to my Align panel, and align them horizontal center. So now everything is lined up on that end. We've got to insert an image over here, which is the event. So we'll go to File, Place, and the HVAC vent here. Like I say, if you got something selected, I had something selected, so I'm just going to sit out here and then move it back on my palette here. So we've got that one in. And we're just going to do a little tweaking, align this up, so like we did with the right side. Now everything is aligned on that side. We've got one more pick to insert, which is right here. And this will be the pick of the students. Now this pick of the students, I think is oversized. And so, like I said, you can either go to Photoshop and size it down to, you can size it down to this size right here, which is 5.75 inches by 2.25 inches, or you can just go ahead and insert it in the document itself and resize it from the document. I'm going to resize it from InDesign. I'm going to place it in group of smelling students. So it came out pretty well oversized here. So the way I'm going to do this, I'm going to resize it down. Let's see if we can resize it from right here. Hold my shift key down. That's the crop tool right there. Let's see both sides now. Still cropping out. So you can crop first, and then once we see the blue line, then we can go ahead and start. Resize it down now. And we're going to take our crop lines. We're going to pull those back in by clicking on this red line right here. And it's going to be up here. And go ahead and move this on up here. It looks like we got some more resizing to do. I'm going to take this box out of here. And we're going to be sure we get their head in there. I'm going to zoom in. Double click on it again. Make it fit the size of the page. And we're going to crop this. Still the size page. That's still sizing it up right there. So I'm going to pull it down here. Get my crop lines. And size it to about right here. And we're going to also, I want to try to move this down just a little bit. Resize this text box down. And we want to make sure we crop this where it goes above the picture right here. So let's pull up like that. I think we're almost good to go. Double click on it. Resize it down just a little bit more. Hold my shift key down on the PC. Making sure it fits just perfectly. Take our crop lines, double click back on the crop lines again. And resize it accordingly. Okay. So we've got everything done on pages 2 and 3, with the exception of the icons. So if we select one, as we see, the angle is portrayed is 30 degrees. We want to make sure it's 0 degrees. Once we hit 0, it's going to go straight. And we've got to make sure we do them all like that. It's going to be 0 here. It's going to be 0 here. This one's going to be 0. This one is going to be 0. Now, what I want to do is I want to make sure I have all of these aligned. And so if I select all of them at one time, I will go to align and then align everything vertical center. Now, with that, I can go ahead and pull everything over on my page and some simple adjusting to make sure that the logo is lining up with the top of the header text here. So we're going to pull this down to here, take this, pull it down to here, take this, pull it up here. And while you're doing it, you want to hold your shift key down so nothing will get out of place here. You hold your shift key down, and as you're doing it, pull up on it right there. Perfect. You know, we've got those icons aligned. You know, we want to do the same thing for this side over here. We're going to line everything over here, right here. So these two are already good. This one's a little bit oversized, so we'll fix that in just a second. Want to make sure it's 0-degree angle first. Want to make sure this one's a 0-degree angle. And this one's going to be 0-degree angle. Now, the icons, if you select one, as you see, it's going to be 0.75 inches, 3/4 of an inch. So we want to make sure everything we click on, all the icons we click on is 3/4 of an inch. This oversized one, just click on it, go in here. The width is going to be 0.75. And the height is going to be 0.75. Now, the mistake I made was I've got to double click on it. And I'm going to do an undo on this one. Double click on it. Now we can go ahead and change it to 0.75. So we won't have our crop lines. We have our size line. And so once we size it down, we can take the crop line and just put it in like this here. Then we should be good. Okay, now we do the same thing we did for the other ones over here. Select them all, go to line, and line them horizontal centers. Pull them pull them back on the, put them on the canvas. And let's do some simple adjusting by moving these down. We're going to start with the bottom first. Pull it down to here. Take this one up to here. Move this one down to here. And this one's going to come down to here. And everything else looks like it's lined up pretty good. Okay. All right, we're almost there. We're almost at the finish line. And remember to always periodically save. One last page. So, open up our layers palette. We're going to insert our last picture, which is on page 4. We'll insert these students, and we got to put the icon up here and the icon down here, and put our postage on there, as well as the address. And we're going to make these 180 because right now I don't think they're 180 on here. So let's go ahead and put the picture in first. Images, we're going to go to File. We're going to place those students, those patient care students. Open them, drop it on the page, move it to its appropriate placement. Since we already have the Remington College small logo, I can actually just copy this by hitting Control C or Option C and zooming in over here and then hitting Edit and then Paste. And from there, I can just take it, pull it right here. And yeah, images. Yep. So now let's go to let's format this text right here. And the character style suggests if we go to, I'm gonna select this text because this is actually the sidebar header text. So double click on it, it should change it to that. And like I said, these character styles were already pre-formatted when I gave you the file. Select this right here, and this is going to be the sidebar body text. So we're good to go on that one. Let's go ahead. The RC, this is going to be flipped upside down. So when they fold the mail out, the address will show correctly. We're going to make it 180 just to flip it perfectly. And we're going to also take the element, the text element, we'll move this in the corner right here. We can also take this element, and I can format it before, because I think the Remington College is in bold right here. So we're going to make sure that's bold first. We just double click, select Remington text, and just make it bold. And now we can rotate it by making sure this element is 180 degrees. The address. We'll address under here. And we've got one more piece of business, and that is to drop the postage, paid postage symbol right here. So we'll go to File and make sure on our Layers palette that we selected Images. So we go to File, Place, and we're going to place the pre-sorted postage, and we're going to just drop it in there anywhere at first. Now let's go ahead, make this 180 degrees, and move it to its appropriate spot on the mail out. And ladies and gentlemen, that is it. We want to save this again, and we want to export our file as a PDF. So hit save. All pages, everything looks good. View PDF after exporting. Okay, so now that I've got both files open, this file should be very similar to this file. And so you can always, just compare the two. As you see, it just shifts just a little bit, but it's close enough. Go to page 2. Almost perfect, almost perfect. So, and we go to page 3. I'm just comparing the one with the end. These were actually supposed to go on this side, but you can always go back in and change those. And page 4, the mail out page. Very close, very close. So yeah, but if you just practice on that again, you'll get better as the course goes on. And that is the end of that particular lesson. So our next lesson is going to be dealing with color. We're going to be working with color. I want you to go ahead, get started on lesson 5. Go ahead, practice the course files are on the it's in Brightspace. Download those. Take a shot at color management of that particular file, and there will be you won't get graded on that one, but you will get graded on the participation for the weekly discussion. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Um, I'm here anytime to help. If you got run to a couple of bumps, whatever. But I will see you all next week. And by the way, the lessons due on Monday around noon, so before noon. So, if you got any questions, let me know, and we'll go from there. Have a good day.